gang, Carl White here. Hey, this is a real important message. Make sure you watch this through. This is something that's going to really help you out. So I had one of my private clients, a loan officer, call me up and said, Carl, I need more leads. Come to find out, he didn't need more leads. He needed something else. And what I mapped out to him, I'm going to map out to you right now. This will be really helpful. So there's things that you want to track in your mortgage company as a loan officer. These four at the top of my list. Number one, we want to track how many leads are we bringing in, right? How many leads are we bringing in, right? And if we do find that we need to work on leads, then we simply do some lead generation. Easy enough, right? It's not hard stuff. Generation, right? Easy stuff, all right? But here's the thing. What you want to do is you want to track how many leads you're getting in, and then also how many of those leads turns to apps. How many of those leads turns to apps? So let's say you're getting 100 leads a month. Just say good easy number to work with on math, and you're turning 50 of those leads into applications. All right. So we have 100 leads, 50 becomes apps. One would think, well, gee, I need more leads if I need more apps. That's actually not true. What that person needs to do, they're already doing this energy, bringing these leads up. You just need to convert more of those leads into applications, right? So we want this number to be much higher than that. If we get 100 leads coming in, I'm looking for this number to be like 90. I want a lot of my leads turning into applications. Now, if they're not, like let's say this is 50, what's my problem? My problem isn't I need more leads. The problem is either A, I'm getting a bad source of leads, right? I've done that. I got leads one time from a flea market. We set up a booth at a flea market. It was I thought a good idea. The execution was flawless. The results were horrible, right? We got a lot of leads, no applications, and frankly, those applications came in, not many of them converted. So don't do that. So if we're getting a lot of leads, 100, and not very many apps, say 60 or less, we've got a bad source of leads, or our follow-up from leads to app, from the time that lead comes in to the time we're taking that app or calling them back, is way too long. We're making them wait. We're doing the old thing of, like you get an incoming call and they have to leave a voicemail, and then you're at meetings or you're at closings and you don't call that lead back, for like 3 or 4 hours, and maybe tomorrow. Well, of course you're going to have a not a very favorable. So you have got to have systems in place to help take those applications on your behalf. You've got to. That from the time that lead, nobody wants to wait. Everybody get that? Nobody wants to wait. When that lead comes in, you have got to immediately take that application, or otherwise they are going to be low conversion rates because they're just going to call the next person, right? And this is a real simple solution for that. Real simple. All right. So we're getting 100 leads, and let's say we're getting 90 apps. The next thing, the third thing that we want to measure is how many of those apps, what percentage of those apps are pre-approvable, right? So once we have the app in, we're looking to see what's pre-approvable. So let's say we're getting 90 apps. I'm looking for about 50% of them or more, but 50%. So let's say 45 of those to be pre-approvable, right? So now if I'm getting plenty of leads and I'm low on my apps, again, either A, we're getting a bad source of leads, or we're making them wait. So here we need to either work on the source or we're making them wait, and we can't do that. That's a kiss of death. By the way, Rocket Mortgage, Quicken, #1 lender in America today, they never advertise rates, ever. They never advertise rates, ever. They never say great rates, ever. It's all about convenience, convenience, convenience. You have got to get this convenience down. I'm telling you guys, that your leads to apps are always going to be low until you get that convenience fixed. Anyway, so now we're getting leads, we're getting apps, and so our apps to pre-approvable is low. If our apps to pre-approvable is low, what our problem is we're fishing in muddy water. So I'm just going to put muddy water. Muddy water. In other words, that source of leads, like my flea market example, isn't good. And you got to let that one go. I found this, like I'd have referral partners, uh, let's say real estate agents that were referring to me. I thought they were my best real estate agents because I got tons of leads. And still I started tracking this stuff. And sometimes the person that sent me the most leads, they were like, we didn't close hardly any of them. It was just a bad source of leads. Like wherever they're getting their leads, I don't know, maybe they were at the flea market getting leads. I don't know. But if we're getting a low app to pre-approvable, we're getting a lot of people that's not pre-approvable. We're fishing in muddy water, and you have to go to sweet water, right? You have to go to a very good place to get your leads, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The fourth thing that you want to measure is how many of those pre-approvables are going to closing. For me, I like this number to be at least 50% of our pre-approvable. So 100 leads, 90 apps, 45 pre-approvables, and let's just say I want 23 of those. Whoops, it's supposed to be orange. I want 23 of those to go to closing. So what's my issue if I've got pre-approvables, but they're not closing? I'm not closing at least half of them. What's my issue? Well, my issue is follow-up. I'm not following up with them, right? You got to follow up with your pre-approvables. Follow up. Follow up. So if we're not getting enough leads, we do lead gen. If our leads, we're not getting like 90% of them turning into apps, either A, we got a bad source, or B, we're making them wait. If we're getting 90 applications and not at least half of them are pre-approvable, we're fishing in muddy water. We need to change where we're getting our apps from or our leads from. If we're getting pre-approvables and we're closing less than half of those, follow-up. Follow-up's the issue. So if you say, like the person I was talking to yesterday, they were getting plenty of leads, they were getting plenty of apps, plenty of them were pre-approvable. They weren't closing on their pre-approvables. They had no system in place to follow up. And talking with loan officers every day throughout the nation, like top producers, I'm going to tell you, I find usually it's about 25% have a lead problem, 25% have an app problem, 25% have a pre-approval problem, and 25% have a closing problem. So just needing more closing doesn't mean I need more leads. It might mean one of these other things. So start measuring those things. You will see, it's my belief that you will see an escalation in your business as soon as you actually start monitoring this stuff. That's a really, really, really big deal. And you don't have to have some fancy smancy system for tracking that. We do, but you don't have to have something fancy smancy. You can have something as simple as pencil and paper. A lead comes in, put a little line on a piece of paper, got a lead in. And then how many apps did you get in that 30 days? How many pre-approvables? How many close? Right? It's just really that simple. Keeping in mind that the close is going to lag behind about 90 days, because if we get a sudden increase in pre-approvables, some of those people won't buy for like a month or two. So it's actually like the how many, like the leads to apps should be immediate, apps to pre-approval should be immediate, pre-approvals to close can have like up to, like we're measuring how many we closed from the pre-approvables we did 90 days ago, right? That'll give you a full picture of what it's like in case they're out house shopping.